Fundamentals of Chinese 2, Unit 8, School Life. A letter talking about studying Chinese. Understand it. Turn to pages 215 and 216 in your textbook and have a pen or pencil ready so that you can take notes. Okay, the dialogue in the textbook for our Unit 8 is actually a letter. And so at the very top of the dialogue we have the phrase 一封信. 一封信. So first in here we have this feng and first tone. Feng. Feng is a measure word used for letters, as in letters that you send in the mail through the post office. It's a measure word. Feng. And so the Chinese would not say 一个信, 一个信. They wouldn't say that. They say 一封信. So feng is a measure word for letters. So you can guess what 信 is here. 信 is letter. So pause and write down what you think the phrase 一封信, 一封信. What does that phrase mean? And if you wrote down a letter, you are correct. 小音 is simply the person's name who the letter is being addressed to. So usually when we're addressing a letter to someone, we'll say, Jonathan, and then we'll put a comma. So sort of the standard practice in Chinese is to put the person's name and then colon. And in the first sentence of our letter we have 你好,好久不见,最近怎么样? Okay, so you know everything here except this 最近, and 最近 means recently. And 最 is the character that's used for like most. And you'll see how 最 is used to do superlatives as well later on. So in 近 means recent or close. So 最近 means recently. So what do you think this sentence means? 你好,好久不见,最近怎么样? Pause and write down what you think this means. And I'm sure you came up with something close to hello. Long time no see. How are things going recently? Or how have you been recently? Or something to that effect. 你好,好久不见,最近怎么样? Next sentence we have 这个学期我很忙,除了专业课以外还得学中文. Okay, so there's quite a bit in this sentence here that we need to look at. The first one is 学期. Now 学 means to study. And 期 is a period of time, a set period of time. So 学期 is the word used for semester, study period of time. So together it means semester, 学期. So we have 这个学期我很忙. Right? So that should be easy to figure out. 除了专业课以外还得学中文. Okay, what we have here is actually a sentence pattern where what is constant in this sentence pattern is the 除了 and 以外. So you see down here we have 除了 and then ellipses and then 以外. 除了以外. So the meaning of this is in addition to or besides. Okay, so in addition to studying Chinese, I also study Spanish. Okay, so in this grammatical construction in Chinese, taking the sentence I just made as an example, in addition to studying Chinese, I also study Spanish. So if I'm saying in addition to studying Chinese, Chinese will go in the middle of 除了 and 以外. Okay, so in this case we have 专业课, but we don't know the meaning of 专业课 just yet. So let's use my example of Chinese. So if we were to say 除了中文以外, so 中文 you remember means Chinese. So 除了中文以外, this means in addition to Chinese, or I should probably say studying Chinese. 学除了学中文以外, in addition to studying Chinese, 还学西班牙语, 西班牙文 Spanish. Okay, so 除了 and then 以外, and then in the middle here you put what would come after in addition to in English. Okay, and what you should do is go take a look at grammar point number 8 on page 218, and it will give you further explanations as to this 除了以外. In fact, I highly suggest you pause this recording right now and quickly turn to page 218 in your textbook and read over that grammar point number 8. It'll only take you a few minutes. Okay. 专业 first tone, fourth tone. 专业 Okay, 专业 means major in college, your specialty or your major. Okay, so now we can talk more about 除了以外. Okay, so we have 除了专业课以外. So in addition to my major, is how you translate that into English. 除了专业课以外, in addition to my major, 还得学中文. Okay, so pause this last part here, 还得学中文. This last part here you should understand. So pause and write down what you think this sentence means in English. So hopefully you came up with 这个学期我很忙. Okay, I'm very busy this semester. 除了专业课以外, okay, in addition to the courses of my major. Okay, 专业 is major and 课 is courses, right? Course or courses. So 除了专业课以外, in addition to the courses for my major, 还得学中文. I still have to study Chinese. 还 is still, and 得 means have to do something. 这个学期我很忙，除了专业课以外，还得学中文。All right, the next sentence in the letter, we have 我们的中文课很有意思。我们的中文课很有意思. All right, so this should give you no problem. Why don't you pause and write down what you think this sentence means. I'm sure you came up with something close to our Chinese class is very interesting. 我们的中文课很有意思. Okay, next we have 因为我们的中文老师只会说中文，不会说英文. Now this was a very long sentence in the letter, so I cut it in half. So first we'll tackle the first half of this sentence. So in this sentence there's really only one character that you haven't seen yet. That's this 会. 因为我们的中文老师只 会说中文，不会说英文. Okay, so this 会 means can or know how to. However, you've also learned 能. Okay, you've learned 能. Okay, we'll just come over here real quick to the textbook in the grammar point. In fact, after I go over this real quick, you should pause this recording and turn to this page in your textbook. It's page 219. I'm sorry, it's page 253. And take a look. So you've learned 能, and now you're learning 会. And both 能 and 会 in English basically translates into can. Okay, 我能喝10杯咖啡, I can drink. Okay, but there's some basic differences between 能 and 会, and they're kind of hard to grasp. So this is going to be the initial introduction to how they're different. But as you continue to study Chinese, they'll become more clear. They'll remain fuzzy for a little while. Basically, 能 means can or to be able to, as in physical ability or the ability to do it at a certain time. Like you can go to the movies because you have nothing else to do. Okay, 能. So 能 is can when it's talking about physical ability or that you can do it because the circumstances allow you to do it. You're free, you have nothing to do, etc. 会 means can, but it means can or to be able to in the when concerning a learned skill. Okay, for example, speaking Chinese is a learned skill. Okay, so if I were to say I can speak Chinese, okay, I would translate that into Chinese using 会,我会说中文. I would not translate it into Chinese using 能, because 能 is talking about my physical ability, okay, of being able to do something, or the circumstances allowing me to do something. Okay, I can get on the internet because I have a computer, right? 我能上网, right? I have the ability because I have this computer. That's 能. But 会 is a learned skill. Okay, 我会用电脑. I can use the computer because I've learned how to use it. It's a learned skill. That's 会. Okay, so here we are back here. Now, I strongly suggest you pause this and go back to Grammar Point 9 on pages 219 to 20 and read the examples there so you can get a better idea of the difference between 会 and 能. But you'll see here in this sentence, 因为我们的中文老师只会说中文, right? So that's a learned skill. 不会说英文. Okay, so we have it used in the positive and then the negative here. Okay, so you should know what this means now. You have everything you need to know. So translate this sentence here. Pause and write down what you think it means. And you likely came up with something close to, because our Chinese teacher can only speak Chinese and can't speak English. 因为我们的中文老师只会说中文，不会说英文. Right? Because our Chinese teacher can only speak Chinese and can't speak English. 所以, here's the last part of that sentence. 所以上课的时候，我们只说中文，不说英文. Okay? 所以上课的时候，我们只说中文，只说中文，不说英文. Okay, so you should be able to figure out the meaning of that. Pause and write down what you think this means. And hopefully you came up with something close to. Therefore, we only speak Chinese during class, and we don't speak English. 所以上课的时候，我们只说中文，不说英文. Okay, in the next sentence we have 开始我觉得很难，后来王鹏常常帮我练习中文，就觉得不难了。Okay, so remember in the previous sentence, she just explained that the teacher doesn't speak English, so they only speak Chinese in the class. And now this sentence is making a comment about only speaking Chinese in the class. 开始我觉得很难，后来王鹏常常帮我练习中文，就觉得不难了。Okay. So you should remember 开始means to begin or in the beginning. Okay. What's new here is 后来. 后来 means later, afterwards or later. 后来. Okay, so 开始我觉得很难，后来王鹏常常帮我练习中文，就觉得不难了。Okay, next we have in this sentence we have 就. Now you've seen 就 used before to mean to happen quickly afterwards, right? Okay, here it's being used a bit different, and it's explained in grammar point number 10. So after I explain this, you should pause this and go look at grammar point 10 on pages 220 and 221. Look at the examples there. But basically, 就 in this context is connecting the previous. It's saying that what comes after 就 is the result of what came before it. What came before is the cause of what comes after. So it's showing some kind of causal relationship. So 开始我觉得很难，后来王鹏常常帮我练习中文，就觉得不难了。Okay, so pause and go look at the examples in grammar point 10, and then try and write down what you think the English meaning of the sentence is. Okay, so look here. In the beginning, I thought it was difficult. That's only speaking Chinese in the class was difficult. I thought it was difficult. Later, Wang Peng often helped me practice Chinese, so I thought it wasn't difficult. Okay, so here has the same meaning as 就. Okay. Later, Wang Peng often helped me, so I thought it wasn't difficult. So is introducing the result of this here. Or this, so is showing that what came before it causes what comes after it. Okay, so the help from Wang Peng caused her to think that it wasn't difficult. So it's the same thing up here. The help from Wang Peng caused her to think that it wasn't difficult. And 就 is providing that relationship between the help and it ending up not being difficult. It's functioning very much the same way that so functions here. 开始我觉得很难，后来王鹏常常帮我练习中文，就觉得不难了。Okay, so if you want, you might want to pause and go back again and look at the grammar point 10 and look at the examples again, and that should help solidify the meaning of 就. Okay, next we have 你喜欢听音乐吗？你喜欢听音乐吗？ So this should be no problem for you. Write down what you pause and write down what you think this means. Do you like to listen to music, right? 你喜欢听音乐吗? And the next sentence is 下个星期六我们学校有一个音乐会希望你能来 Okay. So 音乐会. So 音乐, you know, is music. And 会 is like a meeting or a conference or a concert. So you put this 会 on the end of 音乐 and you come up with concert, a music concert. 音乐会. Next we have 希望. First tone, fourth tone. 希望. 下个星期六我们学校有一个音乐会希望你能来希望 means to hope. I hope. 希望. Okay, here we see 能. So because we just studied 会 a while back to mean I can speak Chinese. 我会说中文, right? I can. So 能 also means can, be able to. But here's a good example of 能 and why we're using 能 in this sentence and not 会. Okay? 希望你能来. I hope you can come. Okay? So coming to the concert doesn't have anything to do with a skill. It's not like you had to practice going to the concert, and now that you've successfully practiced going to the concert, you are now able to do it. Right? That's not the case. Being able to come to a concert means you don't have anything else to do. You have a car, you're able to get there, you have the money to pay for it, etc., etc., etc. This is the physical ability or the circumstances are allowing it. So in this case, we use 能. Okay? Why don't you pause and write down what you think this sentence means in English. Next Saturday, 下个星期六, our school is having a concert, and I hope you can come. Okay, I'm sure you had something close to that. Okay, the next sentence we have 我用中文写信写得很不好，请别笑我. Okay, 用 is a useful verb. 用 means to use something. 我用中文写信写得很不好，请别笑我. Let's take a look at the second part. Okay. 笑 means to laugh at, or to smile. Okay, it actually looks like someone's laughing here. It looks like the two eyes kind of squinting like they do when someone's laughing. Maybe some tears coming out here. So it kind of looks like laughing or smiling. Okay, 请别笑我, right? Please don't laugh at me. Okay, so pause and write down what you think this means. 我用中文写信写得很不好，请别笑我. Write down what you think that means. I write letters in Chinese very badly. Please don't laugh at me. I'm sure you had something close to that. Maybe not exactly, but close. 祝好. Okay. 祝 is a character that's used at the end of a letter specifically. Don't try and use this for this meaning in any other context but in a letter. So it's like at the end of a letter in English where we put sincerely or regards, something to that effect. Okay? 祝 means to wish someone well. So to wish you well, 祝好, to wish you well, to wish you good. Okay? So I've basically just told you what that means. Right? Best wishes or something like that. And then 你的朋友. Alright, that's pretty straightforward. Write down what you think that means. I'm sure you came up with your friend. 你的朋友. Finally, we have 理由. 11月18日. So pause and write down what you think this 11月18日 means. And I know that you came up with November 18th. 11月 is November, and 18日 is 18th. And that concludes this video.